When we think of police work, we often think of drug busts, high-speed chases, and catching the bad guys. But in reality, the police spend a lot of time doing work that doesn't fit this traditional view of law enforcement. One of the main drivers of demand for the police is responding to people in mental distress, which makes up about 20% of their workload. These responses might range from helping someone get home when they're distressed and confused, to intervening when someone is attempting suicide. Despite these responses being a significant part of the role, police typically receive just 8 hours of training on responding to people in mental distress. It should come as no surprise then that police and citizens alike have reported that these interactions are fraught. From the police perspective, these interactions can be challenging, time-consuming, and require a great deal of de-escalation beyond what they were trained for. From the perspective of people who have lived experience of these interactions, the police are often stigmatizing, forceful, coercive, and escalate their distress. However, people have reported that sometimes these interactions can be positive. I want to understand more about these interactions, both any negative aspects that really need to be improved and any positive aspects that we can learn from. That's why I'm conducting an ethnographic case study to explore police responses to people in mental distress in post-disaster Christchurch. Later this year, I'll spend 6 months in Christchurch doing ride-alongs and interviews with police and interviews with people who have lived experience of these interactions. Together, I hope that this will lead to an understanding of how these interactions are really happening on the ground. Of course, doing this research in Christchurch means acknowledging the post-disaster context. The traumatic earthquakes and terror attacks have affected mental health within the community. Both citizens and also police have been affected. I want to know whether this shared traumatic context has an impact on how police respond to people in mental distress. This research could lead to changes in police practice and policy. For example, hearing the perspectives of people with lived experience could give me an understanding of how police could best use de-escalation skills. Overall, I hope that this research will lead to an understanding of how these interactions are currently being experienced by both parties, what challenges are preventing mutually optimal outcomes, and what needs to happen so that these challenges can be overcome.